I'm just getting us back up and running, guys. Sorry, there's a lot of things I actually have running.
Going to go to Broken Vale, which looks
We're
like
back.
it's the next big thing. Okay, I'm at Broken Vale Garrison, and the cap at Hurricane Secure Storage just went through and is back, trying to be taken back by Connery. This is a much better hold by Connery here at Broken Vale. There is still a lot of Emerald pushing in. They're right at the corners. We're almost ready to push onto the point here. Lots of grenades. They're not quite there yet. It's 55 seconds to go. Lots of little dots. I don't see many spotted maxes for Emerald yet. This looks like mostly just basic infantry. This is a much better hold on this point at Broken Vale. Connery doesn't have its maxes either, but they are holding all the choke points the way they need to. It's going to come down to, did they, as Farah said before, did they hoard their C4 and their grenades for what's coming at the last second?
Alright, well, I'm watching the thing. I'm just fixing the stats and the overlays in a second, guys. Sorry about the delay.
16 seconds. 16 seconds at Broken Vale. I don't see enough Emerald here. I think this is going to go through.
Because like a lot of Emerald needs to be over here at construction site Beta, but then quite a number of resources and a lot of Sunderers.
A Connery outfit, I don't know, 405. Oh, I'm sorry, it's HOSP. They spelled it with numbers. Hospitaller Order takes Broken Vale Garrison. That's the first time that they managed to get this back. It was an excellent little point hold that they did. And they also still, it looks like, are holding Hurricane Secure Storage. It's possible that the center might clear up a little bit better for Connery here.
Emerald found a way to pack Sunderers inside of A point at construction site Beta. They're just piling Sunderers in with Bulldogs and Fury.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Go down this point. Yeah, they used the stairs, the infantry stairs. And now
Those
they have
people who
400 or
are
500.
Those people who are on my stream, I unfortunately don't have the time to talk to you in Twitch chat, so if you are listening on my stream, Farah's stream is back up. You can move back over to the other stream. I'm the secondary stream for this. At SRP Nanite Relay Station in the far south of Warp Gate, there does not seem to be a Emerald presence yet, and this is not as long of a run from the spawn as others. Although it does look like they're taking out... Oh, it looks like Connery's actually taking out some spawn sunders that Emerald left here. This is probably left over from their attack on this base. This is 2 minutes until...
You know what we didn't see at the Gurney Dam? We didn't see proxy repair sunders, and we are seeing proxy repair sunders at constructed site Beta. I wonder if that would have made any difference whatsoever. But I like the fact that Emerald is actually pulling it off from Beta. And they seem so much more comfortable in terms of getting the capture point. With a minute to go, there's barely any pressure whatsoever.
Speaking of construction sites, and they do all look alike, and it's very hard for us to keep them straight, construction site Lambda down in the center, the south center, has a very, very good hold. 42 seconds.
Holy mother of God! That's a lot of maxes! This is a mega max crash going on at construction site Beta. The NC sees this on the minimap, but the problem is there are 4 Sunders, all with Furies. Here goes grenade spam! Go, go, go! Do not stop, get to capture point!
That one Sunder just took out 5 maxes when it blew up.
There's so many maxes though. This is a massive resource intensive push, and it worked. We checked the population numbers. They outnumber the enemy 2 to 1, but that Sunder push demanded such a pull. Now, we want to talk resources here. If we're talking the resource game, because you can be drained out, everyone that pulled a max there, and that must have been like 2 or 3 squads worth, has now 450 resources down. So in the grand scheme of things, this is going to hurt them.
1 TRS down at construction site Lambda just captured the base. So even though Beta was just resecured, they lost another construction site in place of it. And
30-second
it's...
nanite relay.
I'm heading down there now.
By the way, who captured Broken Veil? Hospitalier, you said, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They spelled it all with numbers, so I didn't recognize the outfit name.
Ah. Having a quick look at the map. SO Nanite Relay, check that out.
And I am here right now. I just do not see. There is nowhere near enough NC to stop this. They're pouring in right now, but they are too far away. 3 seconds, 2 seconds.
I can see on the minimap they actually are
One by Sol.
a horde coming along, but it's not enough.
So that would be Solex from Connery that just captured that. That is huge stabilization down here in the south.
But there's a large force, I mean there's like a very large force of NC from Emerald. The fact is Emerald's got the beacons up now and they will probably push the capture point, which they have. They've got the capture point back. Do they now stay here and take it back? See, Emerald has shown that they can take a base and push off the defenders. Now can Connery prove that we've taken the base? Can we now push off the former defenders, now attackers off the capture point?
Yeah, it didn't seem they have anyone positioned in Four Fingers or construction site, so they weren't able to start a cap on it.
Akan Southern Labs had a capture going on it, but unfortunately it was gal dropped, and it looks like it cleaned up. I didn't get up here in time. It looked like there was actually something going on, but unfortunately I missed whatever it was.
Well, we can see the Connery force is beginning to come from the spawn rooms and they're just applying pressure, getting back into the capture room. Gotta say this looks tricky.
Except that Connery seemed to have swapped places with Emerald Air now that Connery's in the southern region. Emerald Air, it looks like they're in the northern region.
What I would like...
Briefly an all call. 59 minutes remaining. 59 minutes.
Speaking of air, there is a significant Vanu air presence over the center of the map right now. They're kind of over Broken Veil, Akan Southern, a little bit of Nasons, and it looks like they might be trying to help the cap at Hurricane Storage.
This guy's got the right idea. This guy right here has got the right idea. From Future Crew, 10FC, whoever VS612 is, he's on the roof. He's looking down, he's throwing grenades, and he's just sniping one at a time, and that's what I'd like to see. Maybe more grenades. Oh, wow. Mr. Infiltrator, what are you doing? You're committing suicide. Oh, dear.
This is, when we talk about defending the point from outside the point, this is exactly what we're talking about here at Hurricane Secure Storage. There is a squad, maybe half a squad, of long-range heavies and engineers up on the hill. They've beaconed in, and they have a complete view of every approach to this this hellhole little building where the point is sitting in, and they just have complete view. They can nail anyone who's trying to come here. It's only spending 6 people. They can have 6 people down, and Connery has finally moved some people onto the bridge. They are defending every way that Emerald can push onto this base. This is what they needed to do the first time, and this is what Emerald did to them when they took this base earlier.
Which base are we talking about right now?
This is Hurricane Secure Storage,
okay.
Which has 143 left on it at the moment.
Okay, well, we're also watching the 133 left on Nanite Relay, where the Vanu Connery force is trying to get all the entrances. They just can't seem to get inside or apply enough pressure on one entrance. Reinforcements for the Connery force, they're easy. They just come from the spawns. From the Emerald force, I can see they've maybe got a couple of Sunders. I'm surprised these beacons are still up, that nobody's EMP'd, because it's so easy to get on the roof and just throw the EMP down. Oh, and the number of people who have dropped in the center and committed suicide.
Connery does have a surprise headed down to Nanite Relay Station. We'll see if they get down there in time, but their Air Force, which seems to be platoon strength again, was headed south last
What's their Air Force gonna do? The enemy's in a base inside a case rock cap point. There are bare cap points to, commit your air... No, never mind. Alright, where's this guy going? He's obviously bought himself a yellow camel. Mr. Shiny, what are we doing? He bought... Okay, we're looking at a Goon Sunderer that's got the yellow camo and it's got the Halloween Jekyll horn. And he's just pounding on the back of the Connery forces trying to get into one of the entrance points.
It is a fantastic disco party that only the Vanu can do at the Awful Pit. There is so much Lasher fire heading into the A point here. Just incredible disco balls of death flying in there. One of the things with the lasher, though, is it isn't necessarily taking people out. They can't stand in the doorway, but they are managing to heal up and res in. The thing that the lasher allows you to do is if you mass fire it, it makes people stay away from the doorway. You can get closer to it. You can throw in grenades. That's not what Connery's doing. They're just firing long range right now, putting on a pretty light show into that A point.
Oh, I think I was too fast for the observer camera. Whoa! That's... Okay, let me... That was... I've never seen the observer camera do that before. I've gone into map mode to prevent people from having whiplash, but I am spinning a million miles an hour. Okay, so
Now,
warning, guys. I'm going to go out of map view and bail out the vehicle. If you suffer from epilepsy or something, don't look at the screen. Right, here we go.
While we were doing with this, Hurricane Secure Storage did cap in the favor of the VS. It is now 1 minute until the Awful Pit caps, and I finally start seeing some VS not just firing down into the A point, but actually trying to push down on foot.
Oh, you're not kidding about the Lasher Disco Show. Have a quick look at the graph, and it's overwhelming force on this capture point. It's such a tiny building for so many people. One heavy assault is just barely holding on. Does nobody look up?
Now that it is night on Hassan,
The Vanu mostly come out at night.
the Venu mostly come out at night. I think it's hard for me to see really much of anybody, be it Venu or NC in these conditions, and I think both sides would benefit from actually taking off what little camo they have, because Hassan is exceptionally dark as far as continents go once nighttime falls, and there's all sorts of little shadows that you can hide in to ambush people. There is you're starting to see the difference in resources and how they've had to spend them between Emerald and
Connery has consistently tried to pull max crashes to save some of their bases. I can't help but think that is going to hurt them, just in general.
Here, Emerald now is able to pull an offensive max crash. They have at least 12...
Which base is this?
16 at Whispering Pass. This is a powerhouse building. It is exceptionally easy to defend. This is something that entire outfits make their bread and butter doing, is defending this particular building. And it's the kind of thing where when you see this many gorilla suits with shotguns walking around, it's really not something that you want to go into.
Not gonna do a whole lot of help for him at Gurney Dam. Now the string of infantry's coming out to save Emerald Point, though.
Well, we're whipping over to Whispering Pass. Yeah. Oh, not only have they got lots of maxes, but you can see the sheer number of Sunders they've got up. Even a Vanguard. Wow, Vanguard. Hello, Mr. Vanguard. Although he's all AP, probably defending the Sunders. And they're just using the Sunders for massive amounts of suppression of the spawn room. But yes, you're right. I'm going to go find those maxes, because that looks like a steel wall of death. This has been pulled by Dada and 1TRS. Have a quick look on those guys. See if I've got anything on my cheat sheet.
Here at Broken Vale Garrison, the NC have gal dropped in. They are, and this is the huge difference. We see Connery go and attack, and it's very rare that they keep up their Galaxy. It's very rare that they manage to keep their Sunderers alive. And here, the NC Emerald has managed to push in. They have a Galaxy up. They're using it to spawn in. They're trying to use it to do some damage with Bulldogs. It's the kind of thing that makes all the difference. Although it did just get one-shotted by something. I don't know whether that was a friendly drop pod or what.
So 1TR is Infantry Combined Arms Galaxy drops. Started in November 2012 by Metzger and friends on Soltech, a semi-tactical realism gameplay community. Der Rosa Baron, the Red Baron, took over leadership and has been outfit leader ever since, focusing on air tactical leadership, bus drivers and holders. Well, there you
So
go.
this first pass is still falling. That
Oh, falling is a term I wouldn't use. Fallen is a bit over presumptuous, but it's probably going to happen. It's got hit pretty hard. I mean, there's just like a steel wall of maxes. The fact is the Connery force can't. Oh wow, that one Connery match was like, hey guys, what's going on? Oh my God, this is steel wall of death, and then he dies. So you know.
What's interesting here is that the trade that they're attempting to make, or that they've
Wow.
Connery is very, very close to the point here at Broken Veil. They might be able to get this back, but this is what Emerald is able to do with extra resources.
Dude.
They can push with the maxes where they are, and they can take a base and trade for another.
There is a 6 max wall on the top of large stairs with engineer support and everything, all with basically hacksaws or scat maxes or whatever, and they all just fired on one door because the enemy only came in one door. It was just it was just supremely impressive shotgun streaks, never ending, going to the doorway.
Now, with the south falling, Connery has fewer options to push into, and that means that Emerald has few options, or has more options to attack, which benefits them greatly. They don't have to attack anywhere, but we know that they're going to.
We don't show stream chat because in-game chat, but there's a hilarious conversation going on where Server Smash NC076 is basically saying, I paid for my Sunderer with real dollars. And his next yell chat is, tomorrow my children will ask, Daddy, why are we eating out of food cans? It's because he bought for his Sunderer.
Well, I certainly have to say that if we're going with cash dedication, it is far, far and away obvious that Emerald is the victors of that little battle going on between all the servers.
Oh, and they've already moved on to Battle Eastern Depot. They're still out popped as the attacking force, but they're just applying pressure, if I could actually see my own waypoint. They're applying pressure off their base, never allowing Connery to fight on their base, always fighting on Connery's bases.
Generator stabilized.
And we have to see that with 48 minutes remaining, there'd have to be a spectacular turnaround, for this just to revert.
At this point, this is something.
I mean, look at the map
Connery
timeline.
This
Sorry,
is
you go ahead,
something
yeah.
Connery needs to start thinking about. If it's not possible to win or tie right now, you need to start thinking about limiting the damage. Depending on what happens in the game tomorrow, the territory that you add to your total is everything. If you still wind up with more territory percentage than Cobalt, who could very easily lose tomorrow, you can still wind up in the championship game. So this is a situation where maybe you're not playing to try and win, you are playing to try and get to a certain number. Maybe it's 50%, 47% or something like that of territory held.
You got a point, because the more heavily Connery gets beaten here opens the doorway for Cobalt tomorrow. They can afford a larger loss. Basically, if Miller wins tomorrow, it will push Cobalt out of the finals. If they win sufficiently, and then it really comes down to territory percentage points. So losing heavily here to Emerald is unacceptable for Connery. They really need to hold their ground. Yes, they may have had a bad start, and they're halfway into the Server Smash now, but they need to hold their ground. And if we look at the minimap, for the last, let's say, 10, 15, 20 minutes, it has been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it's somewhat stabilized. It's not going all one way that it was originally for Emerald. It's astonishing, the kill graph is still the same.
That fight in the south, however, is a real problem right now. There is just such a large force that keeps on pushing down, and they're just marching up the lane. This is the kind of thing where we watched this happen with Connery's other match, where they decided to give up the biolabs, assuming.
But they need to spawn somewhere. But this is the thing: Emerald brings in 4 or 5 spawn sunders, lots of spawn options. But they know. Connery knows, and they even have the capture point. So this is the first time we've actually seen a fight where Connery has their own capture point in their own base on a full 4 minutes. They could have like an infiltrator be a nuisance, and it looks like they might even be doing it at Whispering Pass because we can see hostile numbers. But what I'm getting at is that they also have the time here to... Vital Biolab is an example, right? Just Vital Biolab has air terminals. You could have a squad or a half squad, 6 people, spawn a Valkyrie, flying with stealth, boom, nuke this guy, then nuke this guy, then nuke that guy. Guys spawn in, they have Sunder busting gear. There's nobody defending the Sunders. You kill off the spawns, you kill off the fight. But instead they're choosing to actually fight on the capture point and defending the cap, even though they have a full 4 minutes and time to spend. I can understand if they weren't doing it, because then they could, you know, redeploy to Whispering Pass, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing where Connery needs to start moving forces ahead to defend the base forward with time. Just sending, as you said, 1 or 2 infiltrators, half a squad of people forward to flip points is a huge thing. Even if you send 6 people and say, 1 of you go flip the point, the rest of you go hide, and that means you get 6 chances to go flip the point on them, that's a valid tactic at this point.
Do you know who the force commander is for this Emerald team?
For Emerald, I do not know who the force commander is.
Because it's an alternating team, so I know it's not Roy Awesome. So I'm wondering if they get over 70% today, if they get over 70%, Roy gets delegated to Scrubman, and then to see who fights for kind of force command of the championship game. If Emerald gets himself in.
Should I say don't feed the animals in Twitch chat, please?
You heard it first. Emerald, Redland just called you all animals, but
Looks like Emerald is in Medius Rage from Volt.
Well, the fact that the Whispering Pass is ticking down now, looks like it's Emerald Air, but some of the spawn Sunders that were around are being picked off now by Connery. The fight is moving off. Doesn't seem like it's as intense as it was before. In fact, yes, the entire NC force has moved. Where have they gone? They're pressuring Cairn Station. Their Air Force is moving north as well. Where are they all going? Secure Storage? No. Broken Vale? Acan Southern Labs? Possibly Acan Southern Labs. Construction Site Beta is big pressure.
Unfortunately, here we are again at Gurney Dam, and Connery seems to be learning all the lessons they needed to use the first couple times here. They managed to get a single harasser onto point with a PPA that really helped them, but it was a single harasser and perhaps a single squad with them, no max support, no spawn Sunder support, and it was eventually wiped out. If they had done that earlier, if they had managed to have 2 of those things down here and had their Sunders driving around like they did earlier, you really have to wonder, you know, this base came down to 10 seconds at one point. Would those PPA harassers have made the difference if they had gotten down the first time?
Oh, it's too late. Oh no, it's too late! Oh, you're gonna get absolutely bottom munched! What are you doing, guys? Oh, well, okay, so Connery decides to drop with a Galaxy on the roof. There's too many enemy forces, but they're trying anyway. One thing I did forget to mention was that Emerald chose to leave the base that they were trying to capture and went for the save of the base that they actually owned. So they weren't going for that gambling, we'll take something, we lose something. Oh, right, sorry, and I've got the stats up on the page. I actually wanted to show...
They did manage to take Construction Site Beta again with their patented Sunder in every corner technique. That's absolutely brutal. That's something I do not know how you counter that.
Oh, wow, they actually did go to the capture point. They're flipping it, although it's almost 3 minutes. It's going to be an insane miracle for them to hold on to it for this long. And as we show on stream, guess what has the top gun kills?
Would it be our friend Mr. Orion?
It is the Orion by quite some measure. The Anchor is second with 1,500 or 1,600 kills, but the Orion's up at 2,500. And Mr. Who's third place?
You've just caused a massive ruckus in the channel there, Farah. People saying ban Farah.
Sorry, what are they saying about me?
Because the 2-minute delay, you were saying something about Roy Awesome.
Right, but what are they going on about?
The Scrubman thing?
Oh, Scrubman Roy? Yeah. What's he done for Emerald aside from lead them to victory a couple of times?
As I said, please stop feeding the animals.
Well, anti-vehicle grenades, as I give them their last nourishment, is third place. So surprise, surprise.
Now, Whispering Pass finally had a VS Connery element move on to it. They seem to be trying to push onto the point. They've gotten their spawn sunder killed, and unfortunately, it looks like they're getting picked off in the woods right now. But that's what they need to keep on doing. All of these bases that are under threat here, you need to start getting everything ticking forward. If you can send half a squad to every single base you're connected to, and do whatever else you need to do without those 6 people, and let them be able to be ready on the point to pull
Well,
sunders,
it does.
things like that.
I mean, it's hard to show. It looks like Connery's stabilized in that, you know, their bases are not being kind of captured as quickly as they were before. Maybe it's because the lanes are condensing now, that it's easier for them to kind of hold. But also, crucially, the Connery force, they are, maybe not successfully, but they are attempting to attack. I mean, we just saw at the very end there, Kessel's Crossing was pushed off, but they were fighting there nonetheless. Hatcher's Air Station has been going on for ages now, so maybe we will have a look at what's going on there. Akan Southern Labs is actually being flipped again, so they're having another good crack at it. But it's, if you'll notice one thing as we look across the map, it's basically Kessel's Crossing, well, was 24-48, so that is 2 to 4 squads. But Hatcher, Akan Southern Labs is 2 squads, Nason's is 2 squads, Gurney Dam was 2 squads, and in the south, well, the forces there, it's 2 to 4 squads. So I mean, it's all relatively balanced numbers, and it's not like 96 plus mega kind of crushing blows upon each other. And this is with 288. Oh wow, there's actually an air battle going on above Akan. Come on, Lanza, you're supposed to be on top of that. I see they're actually trying to go at it for this time rather than just stay at a distance.
What Emerald has always been so good at in all of these matches that we've seen, and we've heard it from multiple servers now, is it feels like they're fighting more people. It feels like they have more people, and what they are so exceptional at is moving their forces around exactly where they're needed at exactly when they're needed. And that is something that they're pretty much unmatched at. To be able to send, whether it's a squad or 24 guys or whatever, and they don't seem to make the mistakes that other people do, where they wind up sending too many people somewhere and losing a base in the process. They really thrive, and their entire game plan is based on get what we want in the opening and then push everything else. Everything else will fall into place if that happens.
Watching, I have to feel that Emerald has the larger air force, and at the moment it's just single scythes just showing extreme levels of skill, but ultimately being heavily outnumbered. Following this one T-42X.
Trying to find their Cobra Strike. I'm having a tough time.
Connery is
Locating
again.
Mr. Valkyrie, turn around, turn around!
Connery is learning some of these
Go
lessons
get him.
perhaps a little too late in the match. They are bringing vehicles onto points at construction site Lambda. They are trying to. I think probably what's happening is they're saying, "Wow, man, they just absolutely wrecked us. We should try that when they come back." It's the kind of things, though, that had you done this early in the match, it might have changed some of these bases for the. And again, there's just so many people coming through to resecure this base for Emerald.
Yeah, I can't find them. Connery's there.